think it's time for me to show you guys how foreground widgets work. So, let's see. As you can tell, the escape folder has gotten much bigger over time. First of all, let's change the background in the Arboretum. Still want white to be the transparent color. I'm going to change the unused color to lime green since I might just use that amber color with the panels on these windows, with the frames on them, sorry. Just so that I keep things in perspective. There's the boss. And there are actually two layers of widgets. When I first created this layer, I wanted there to be widgets that could be drawn on top of the player. The first widgets that I drew were actually umbrellas. They weren't animated at all. Just going to fire open this one. It's going to have only one frame. You don't need to make them animated. And it's actually going to be this, the thin tree. Give it a white background color so that the white around it turns transparent. That's what it's going to look like. Extremely simple, just an ellipse and a trunk. Click OK, and as you can see, it is life size here. Not quite flush with the ground. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but it's actually on top of the boss here. The boss's layer is further away from the camera. And it's possible to duplicate at this layer as well. Putting these trees here is going to amp up the difficulty, or I should say if I put the trees inside the arc here where enemies spawn and stuff, then it would make the game more difficult. And again, you can move these forward and backward. I'll just move this one so that the trunk is over the tree foliage so that you can see what I'm talking about. You can move them forward and backward. That still moves it forward and backward within the foreground widget layer. And there are a number of other things which I put in this layer as well, like the start of the level and the goal, as well as these hurt zones, which I'll do in another video. You could say that this layer is sort of a hodgepodge of miscellany. Anyways, just to demonstrate how the other layer works, the background widget layer, I'll start creating a few background widgets too as well. I believe I also created a thick tree. Nope, I managed to overwrite that one. Sad to tell. Oh well. There is another thing which I did do, the flower box. It's pretty big. The background color, or I should say the color I want to make transparent, is actually black in this one. Click OK. And you can see it is once again huge. I'll place it here. And I don't know if you noticed, but the boss is in front of this flower box, and so is the tree. In retrospect, I shouldn't have made the trunk and the box's wooden parts the exact same color. But oh well. I'll duplicate it. And again, you can move it forward and backward. And again, that only applies to the context of the layer. This will do. So I'm going to save it. And I'll fire up the game. This takes too long to load. Okay. So there's Twilight. Switch to Fluttershy, clear out the whole room with her Flutter Dozer. That's what I call her ability to walk forward and fire spread shots off like this. Boom. So here I am in the Arboretum. As you can see, the flower box is behind Rainbow Dash here, but the tree is in front of her. Make the boss spawn. As you can see, the boss is behind the trees but in front of the flower boxes. Oh dear. So I could keep fighting this boss, but really, I've made my point. That's the foreground widgets for you, and that's about it.